Today, Beta 1.8 is remembered as one of Minecraft's most important updates. It added sprinting, hunger, villages, and a brand new world generator. But when it released in 2011, many players absolutely hated it. What did Beta 1.8 add? It added sprinting, mineshafts, villages, hunger, and a new terrain generator, creative mode, and also water is now at Y level 63 instead of 64. Beta 1.8 also added a lot more than what I have mentioned. One of the biggest reasons Beta 1.8 was so controversial was the addition of the hunger bar. Before Beta 1.8, food works very differently. If you took damage, you could instantly eat food and recover that health. It was simple, fast, and players had gotten used to it, but Beta 1.8 completely changed that system. Food now filled a hunger bar, and only when that bar was full would your health slowly regenerate. While the system is considered normal today, many players at the time felt it made survival more complicated and less fun. Another major complaint was the new terrain generator. Beta 1.8 had become famous for its enormous mountains, strange overhangs, and dramatic landscapes. Many players loved exploring these worlds because they felt unique and unpredictable. When Beta 1.8 arrived, the terrain generator was changed significantly. Although it introduced new features and improved world variety, some players felt the terrain had lost its personality. To them, the mountains seemed less impressive and the worlds felt flatter than before. The update also marks a shift in Minecraft's overall direction. Prior to Beta 1.8, Minecraft was largely a sandbox game where players created their own goals. The Adventure update introduced villages, and later on strongholds, and eventually the path towards reaching the end. Some players welcomed these additions, but others felt Minecraft had become more focused on progression and objectives, rather than pure creativity and survival. To make matters worse, the update launched with performance issues and bugs. Players reported lag, world generation problems, and various glitches that made the experience feel unfinished. Combined with all the gameplay changes, this gave many players even more reason to dislike the update. Jeez, looking back, many of Beta 1.8's features became core parts of Minecraft, but at the time, these changes felt massive, and that's why so many players hated the update when it first released. So, was the hate towards Beta 1.8 actually justified? Well, yes and no. On one hand, it's easy to understand why so many players were upset. Beta 1.7's terrain had become iconic. The giant mountains, the floating land formations, and the weird world generation created landscapes that felt almost magical. For players who spent hundreds of hours exploring those worlds, Beta 1.8 felt like it was taking something special away. And it wasn't just the terrain, the entire feel of Minecraft changed almost overnight. Hunger, sprinting, villages, and a new progression system made the game feel very different from the sandbox experience players had grown attached to. On the other hand, many of the features introduced in Beta 1.8 went on to become some of Minecraft's most important additions. Sprinting completely changed movement and exploration. It's hard to imagine modern Minecraft without it. Villages gave players reasons to explore and eventually became one of the most important structures in the game. The Adventure update also laid the foundations for future content, including trading, progression, and eventually reaching the end. In fact, if you ask most modern players whether they'd want to permanently remove sprinting, villages, hunger, and everything else Beta 1.8 introduced, the answer would probably be no. Those features have become such a core part of Minecraft that many players can't imagine the game without them. So, was Beta 1.8 hated because it was a bad update? Not really. It was hated because it changed Minecraft more than any update before it. Players weren't just reacting to new features, they were reacting to the loss of a version of Minecraft that they had fallen in love with. And sometimes the biggest updates create the biggest backlash.
That was elite.
Beta 1.8 wasn't hated because it was bad. It was hated because it changed Minecraft more than almost any update before it.